Hi, and welcome back to Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt. This is part two of a two-part series of trip up to our cabin and doing some wood cutting, splitting, and putting away. Hope you enjoyed part one last week and stand by for part two. All right, I'm going to start with this dead piece here. I don't know if there's any firewood in it, but I need to get it cut out of the way. All of this log is cleaned up, even up in the brush there where I could have just left it, and this end of it, and there's a stump. That's what it came off of. I've got that stuff there that I'll burn at a later date. And believe it or not, this is the third trailer load. Okay, there's all that wood right there. It's junk wood. I wouldn't waste my time if I was trying to heat a house. For a cabin, it'll be fine. It's actually kind of wet right now because it's been out in the weather, but it'll dry out quickly. Even the bigger pieces, I went ahead and ran them through the log splitter. The goal is I just want to get these in the wood stove, and they got to be able to fit through the door. So these things will burn really quick. I wouldn't want to put them in there to burn overnight because they wouldn't last at all. All right, the only thing we have left is the other trees over there that are not in the road. Well, you know what they say about all work and no play. It was about 3 in the afternoon, and I decided that the sun was going to be going down in a couple hours, and I wanted to take a little ATV ride. Come out to my favorite place. Gorgeous view. We can finish the work up tomorrow. What hunting season it is. I hope it's not elk season. They're not very bright for stopping. Not that I'm hunting them, but still. It's Sunday morning. The weather, she's a turning. I don't know if you can tell. Those are gray skies. Look like she's gonna rain. That's all right. What do you think, dog? A little rain okay? The little Ryobi saw worked great yesterday. I'm just gonna put some gas and oil in it. And I'll probably put the gas and oil in the right spots. So we'll get that and then we'll get back to work. What do we have left? Well, this section here, need to get the limbs off of it and get it cut up into firewood sized chunks. And then the part of the trunk standing there, need to get it cut off down at ground level. What happened there, that tree blew partially over in the wind last winter, and you can see the top of the little shed there, the roof, it was leaning up against it, so it had to come down. Anyway, once we get that part done, we'll shift to the other side of the driveway and we'll take care of this. We'll get a little bit of firewood out of that. Mostly we'll just cut it up so it can go to the burn pile. Well, that went quick. Even quicker for you guys, right? All right, some of these I'm gonna want to split. So the question is, do I want to drag the log splitter over here, or do I want to just carry them over? I think it'd make more sense to bring the log splitter over here. And the ones that I'm not, all this wood is just gonna go in here. Ooh, I've got some in here that needs splitting too. Do I want to do that? I don't really want to split all that today, but I've got the splitter up here. I guess it makes the most sense to do it, huh? I don't know. We'll think about it. While we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and take care of that mess over there. There's the wood that I'm keeping. The rest of that's headed to the burn pile. All right, because of you guys, I'm gonna split it. See, if nobody was watching, it'd be real easy to procrastinate. But since you guys are watching, at least 23 of you, or 24 last I counted, I'm gonna go ahead and split it. So what I'll do is the pieces that don't need splitting, which pretty much all of that is gonna need splitting, but any of the pieces out here, I'm gonna stack those on the far side here because those are all okay sized. And then I will pull these out one by one, split them, and put them back over on the other side. So let's get that area cleaned up over there. and this stuff put away, and then we'll bring the splitter over. The good news is I've got the logs cut up and all the brush moved to the burn pile. Driveway is now clear. Picked up the sticks over there and picked up everything up in there. Brought the log splitter over, ready to go to work. The bad news is apparently my log splitter is smarter than I am. When I tried to split this round, the hydraulic cylinder was moving really slow, which I didn't really notice that right away, but when it got up to the edge of the wood, it wouldn't split it. So then I was looking down at my clear line here, and it was pretty frothy and milky, which it isn't now. And then I looked down in the reservoir, and you can see it's still milky down in there. Now, this thing is brand new, and you know, it was full of hydraulic fluid when I bought it. It doesn't sit outside. I don't know why it's milky. But the fact that this line was all frothy and milky looking is now cleared up leads me to believe that maybe it's not milky, maybe there's just air in the system. But I'm not smart enough to figure out how to get the air out. Maybe I'm gonna have to read the owner's manual. I think we'll do that next. All the wood is split and put away. This is the new wood here, and then I re-split the wood that was in here that needed splitting and stacked it there. All right, so you're wondering, what was the dumbass move? Why couldn't I make the log splitter work? Well, something I read online, and then when I came out, it made sense. You can see I've got the left side of the log splitter sitting a little higher than the right side, and originally the left side was kind of down in the hole there, and the hydraulic fluid level is such to where this is the inlet, and it was sucking air, not all air, hydraulic fluid and air, and so that was the reason that it turned white. It was all frothy with air mixed up in it. So once I reoriented the log splitter, even though there was still a lot of air in the line, right away it started splitting wood again. And the longer it ran, then all of a sudden the hydraulic fluid started to clear up and then turned back to a nice little golden color like it's supposed to be. So that's what the issue was. The only other thing I ran into was I ran out of gas. No big deal. I mean, I hadn't put any gas in it since the first time I used it. So I filled it up and fired it back up. I kind of wished I'd been paying closer attention to the gas so it wouldn't shut off when it was at high RPMs. I always like to throttle things down, let them idle for just a little bit before I shut them off. But no biggie. So that's done. So what's next? Well, we still need to do something with those trees that are leaning up against that shower house there. It looks bad, so we're going to go ahead and cut those out of the way and probably cut them into firewood and just go ahead and put them in here. We'll probably put them on the taller pile because this stuff is actually pretty dry for being dead. So let's get that done. Before we jump into that, I noticed that the chain's getting a little loose, so let's go ahead and tighten the chain up and then also maybe top off the gas and oil in this thing. Chain tightening is easy enough. Loosen these two little nuts right there, and then here's the adjuster right there, and just need to turn that clockwise a little bit and you can see the chain tighten right up, and just snug it, and then I'll tighten those two nuts back and we're good to go. It's 3 p.m. on Sunday, and while I was hoping to bring this tree down, I would have to take out my big saw, and I haven't got it out yet, and I really just don't want to. I need to start getting everything loaded back up on the trailer so I can make a quick getaway in the morning. But hey, I know you want to see a tree come down, so how about this thing here? There's two of these trees side by side, and this first one here is dead. And I think it'll fall right up in the driveway, no problem. You guys will watch, so if it hits the truck, well, then you can laugh. But if it hits the truck, you'll never see this video. But anyway, let's go ahead and bring this tree down. That tree came down like a professional cut it. Hey, as long as it didn't hit the truck, we're doing good. So anyway, we got it clear down to the stump, cut them into firewood sized chunks. Some of these can go right over and get stacked. A few of them I'm going to split. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the splitter over here, split probably a dozen of these, maybe a little less than a dozen, then put all this wood away, and then I'm going to load the splitter on the trailer and get it strapped down. All the pieces I'm using for firewood are all picked up and in the trailer. It's a full load. Here's something interesting. As that tree grew up and it grew apart, and then it also grew back together. Now there was another branch coming out of here, but that's grown together because I tried to break it apart and it is solid. So pretty neat. All right, take a look. Everything's all cleaned up. I even raked up a little bit. I put everything down on the burn pile. Let's go take a look. That's the burn pile. And that's our secondary pile. So as that burns down, I will be dragging this stuff over onto it. I don't want too big of a fire up here because, you know, the woods and all. I've got the log splitter loaded on the trailer. Need to strap it down. And then I need to put that trailer on there. And then get the ATV in the back of the truck. And then get the truck hooked up to this trailer. I'm not sure I'm going to get it all done tonight. You know, it's been a gloomy day all day. Never has rained. But the problem is it's getting dark because there's been no sun. So I'm not sure I'm going to get everything done tonight. I don't have to race out of here in the morning. I just wanted to get an early start. Starting to get dark, all loaded up. That's good. Be able to leave in the morning, no problem. It's Monday morning, time to hit the road. A little bit of rain came overnight, not too bad. So dog and I, we're ready. You ready, dog? Let's go. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of Procrastination Garage. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was part 2, so if you didn't catch part 1, please go back and check it out. Remember, the goal of Procrastination Garage is to get me outside working on something, so I'm not sitting around watching YouTube videos or playing on TikTok. Down in the comments, tell me about the projects you're working on, or tell me about the projects you're not working on. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. I'd appreciate it. And until next week, we'll see you later.